Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Titleless Musings, and today we have another Enhypen birthday spread that we're making in the K-pop journal. This is Sunoo's birthday, and I decided to do something a little different here. I wanted to do like a kind of sunset gradient. This doesn't end up being a gradient, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't really look like a gradient. It's more just orange, red, and pink, and yellow. Forgot yellow, even though that's the color on screen. But for Sunny's birthday, I started thinking of like a sunset, and that kind of is what inspired that gradient look. So what I decided to do as well, because my printer wasn't working at the time, I have fixed it since, but for this spread, I didn't have any new photos of Sunoo printed, so I decided to use some of my Lomo cards and kind of make them fit this circle in the middle. It's actually a spread I've been playing around with on my iPad, trying to kind of like draft it, I guess, for lack of a better word. And it came out really well on there. I think it looks better on the iPad, to be fair, because of the digital tool that you can perfectly shape it to the circle. But you know what? Sometimes we gotta do it the analog way. So this is Sunoo's spread, and I'm actually quite happy with it. Normally I do like the same birthday spread for all the Enhypen members. I've really been liking the kind of rainbow one that I do, where it's like in the balloons or it looks like confetti. But I decided not to do that here because I did that same thing last year. I think I actually did it for Sunoo's birthday last year, so I figured I would switch it up a little bit. Like I said, I'm also trying to use a lot of the Enhypen stuff that I already have. So I have a ton of stickers from all the albums and all of the like merch things that I have. So I wanted to use up those, and then since I wasn't able to print new Sunoo photos for this video, I decided to pick up some of the Lomo cards that I bought, I think like last year or earlier this year, and I do like the way it turns out. Like I said, I think the only negative for me is I don't really have a lot of Lomo cards that fit the color scheme. So as you can see, like I'm using the ones from Romance Untold, which actually that Romance Untold one was a yellow album cover, so I mean, I guess it's close enough. But I did kind of just have to make do with what I had. And then I'm using the same stencil that I use for all the member birthdays because I love these bubble letters. I could do bubble letters by myself. The thing is I don't want to, frankly, because my handwriting can get quite atrocious. So we use a stencil here. And then I'm just kind of coloring this circle in. I was originally going to leave the circle white, but then for the gradient look, I thought it would look better if it was like this bubblegum pink, because as you can see on camera, it's a little less obvious in person, but it looks almost like it fits right in between the colors. Like I said, it does stand out a little bit more in person. And also these red letters, I loved what I did with them. I love the idea. They're not very visible on camera. It's like the two colors are opposites on how they show up on camera. So yeah, the red looks a lot more visible to the naked eye, but then here obviously the pink looks like it fits in better. So again, you kind of win some, you lose some. But I can't believe it's Sunoo's birthday. I know I say this every single member birthday. I do truly need a new script, but I just don't know where the year has gone. I think with the whole Heesung thing in March, it feels like the year is just sped up in terms of Enhypen's content. To be fair, it's just been like a quick, speedy year in general, but with Enhypen specifically, I've noticed that it just feels like time is really sped up. You're kind of more aware of how fast time is passing within the fandom now. But Sunny was kind of bias wrecking me. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I think that, like, right now, obviously Jay, my number one. Sunghoon, I think, is probably my next bias wrecker, and that is literally just because of Steeler. But then Sunoo has really started to shine this year. I've always really appreciated what Sunoo brings to the group, but I think that, like, this year specifically, he's just really, really stood out to me. I've really enjoyed getting to see how he's grown, especially as a vocalist. The high notes that he's been doing live since Heesung isn't around anymore, he's just done such an excellent job. I could not be more proud of our Sunoo. So yeah, I really cannot wait to see what he's got in store for us as Blood Saga continues. Specifically, Blood Saga is actually taking me out. I gotta be honest, you know when I said Walk the Line was my favorite, I think I was lying because Blood Saga has just hit me with a board. Although, to be fair, Walk the Line did have my favorite song, which is Lucifer. So again, it's so difficult to pick. But yeah, now we're coming to the end of the spread. I always just write a little message. Not that I post these on YouTube, but I don't post them on Weverse or anything. But I just think it's nice to leave a little message. So that brings us to the end of this video. If you did enjoy, please do remember to leave a like and subscribe because it really does help the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Happy birthday, Sunoo, and I'll see you next time.